Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Today we're taking a look at a game called Guild Saga Vanished Worlds. This is a turn-based tactics RPG open world, lots of character customization, cool pixel art style, which I'm personally a big fan of. Kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics vibes, maybe a little bit of Tactics Ogre in there, but you know, I like this. I'm a big fan of how this looks. This game is part of Steam Next Fest, and there's a demo that you can play. So I'll have links down below for you to check out the demo. And if you wish list it, obviously that's a big help to the developer. This is a game being developed by Ocelot. It's published by them as well, and they're sponsoring this video, so I appreciate that. Get to check out something cool and a little different. So we're gonna start with character customization really quick. I'll breeze through this. But I'll just flip through some of the random options here so you can kind of get a vibe of what the aesthetics are like and kind of see if any of these fit what we're going for Lord Kelsier here. Let's find, okay, we could go a little demon race action. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And we'll use the steady short sword. Backstory-wise, I think we're gonna go into something like Legionnaire, but there's a whole bunch of options here. These will have impacts on some of your attributes, as with most RPGs you're probably familiar with. And then we've got inclinations here. These will impact how your character reacts to things in the world and how they are reacted to. And there's a few of them. We got greed, loner, neophiles, righteous, vengeful, altruistic, ambitious, curious, degenerate, devout. You get it. You can weave a tale that you want to weave here. That's totally cool. Attributes wise, I've already gone ahead and put 3 into strength. This increases our damage with physical and melee skills. Secondary, I've gone into Constitution for a little bit of extra health. And I'm just going to hover if you guys want to see what these other things do. Swordsmanship, so we get better accuracy and evasion while using a one-handed melee weapon. We've got some other options here that I'm not going to go into yet. And then there's a bunch of different schools that you can spec into. Pyromancer, Geomancer, I'm going Warrior here, Rogue, Cleric, Engineer, you name it. And then lastly, we've got, under the abilities, we've got skills. So I've chosen Parry, Piercing Slash, and Disorienting Strike for my 3. And then talents-wise, I've chosen the Interrogator. So I get +3 to Intimidate. But let's get started. And we'll kind of jump around things a little bit. We start off on this boat. You can go and you can talk to all of your companions if you want. But what I'm going to do is actually get us right into the game and show you what some of the combat is like. This is turn-based tactics, so a lot of you guys, especially on my channel, you're going to be familiar with how turn-based tactics works, but all games kind of do things a little bit differently. The way that movement is handled, how many points you have for movement, and then subsequent actions is a little bit different. And then, of course, the individual skills of your party members. So let's just get going here. We find ourselves in a bit of a bad situation. Found the girl with the stone. Yep, she's what? He can't tell us. Okay, great. Let's see what's going on here. Priest who somehow knew your name. Whatever remains of him anyways. Fair. Fair, fair. So we're going to go into like a Dark Souls style boss at the start where we are, at least, I don't think we can win it, but we'll see what happens. I'll do my best. That was slightly awkward. So we've got these little like wraiths that are popping in and out doing things. There's a ton of stuff that you can examine in the world, so you can right click and see what's going on there. There's some stuff here too. Note reads, the Andra is doomed. Find a ship and leave this continent, for all that remains here is damnation. Impaled, lifeless. Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel sometimes after a long weekend. It could happen. It could happen. It's been known to happen. Leora, the darkness beckons. Whatever's to come may no longer be stopped. Hey, Lord Kelsier. You're a little late, aren't you? Tell Benito and the others I said goodbye. Poof. So what's going on in the story? Who knows right now? That's for us to figure it out. I love the animations, man. Like, this style this is cool. Okay, so we're fighting against these nether shadows, and this guy just happens to be watching, enjoying the battle. It's our turn. You can see we've got movement points in red, and then we've got action points in blue here. So we've got a dash ability to restore movement points, but it costs 2 of our actions to do it. Piercing slash that ignores armor. Disorienting strike that can stun enemies. It's resisted by armor as well. And we've got a parry, so we can restore our armor, enter a stance to deflect melee attacks. And then we've got slash to try to wear down some armor and then do, of course, some physical damage. So let's try and reduce some of the armor here. And then we could maybe get in for a disorienting strike on the next turn. Let's do that. And then I'm gonna shuffle away here. Instead of just standing here, I will try to do the best that we can. And then we'll just end our turn. As far as I can tell right now, there isn't a positional requirement for like backstabbing enemies or making sure that you're not getting backstabbed. But like, some of the enemy abilities are very cool. That I can't remember what that thing's called. An Iron Maiden? I think that's what that's called. Comes up and just clamps you down. Like, that's sick. I like stuff like that. Creative. Okay, disorienting strike on this one with no armor. So stunned. Excellent. Let's maybe see now if we can get through the armor of the other one. Although that cooldown on the disorienting strike is pretty heavy, so I don't think we're going to get a lot out of that. However, I can try to keep running here and see what we can get done. I don't think it's going to be pretty. I'm kind of a fan of the Dark Souls style opening in games where you come across like stronger enemies that you're not supposed to be able to beat. And I think there's 2 kind of schools of thought. Should the character be able to beat them if good enough? Or is it just a direct fail because that's going to be what the story calls for? And both are good options, I think. But I think here we're going down regardless of what we want to do. But I will try my best to survive this. Yeah, they're just chunking me here. And I don't have any healing. We don't have any skills yet. We're going to get party members very soon. But yeah. So I won't be able to do anything there. I guess I could set this parry and regain some armor. So that's decent. And then we'll start chunking down here. That blue one is a magical barrier, by the way. The gray is armor. The blue is magic. I don't have a way to get through the magic yet. This guy's awake now, unfortunately. At Hellfire from a distance. Uh-oh. At long last, freedom. The fate of Ard hangs in the balance. Your champions have fallen, abandoned by those they call gods in their most dire hour of need. The stone's power is without bounds, but it can be yours, should you wish. You alone hold the potential to tip the scale. What stone? You will learn in due time. Now sleep, we shall meet again when the fated hour draws close. Now, when we left the boat, we did go to sleep, and then now we're here. So is this real? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. You awaken from the nightmare, only to find yourself in another. Tossed from your ship and ensnared in some sort of spherical prison, you're caught in a wild dance amidst the ocean's roaring waves like a feather in gale. As the air within the confinement diminishes, your consciousness becomes lost to the grip of suffocation. It's good writing. Good writing. You might be wondering, what's the plan for this game? It's going into early access, as far as I can tell. And it's going to be $20. So, I mean, you'll see. But it seems like for that price and what we're getting here and the amount of content that it looks like there is, that seems pretty reasonable. Now, we can, of course, go around and talk to anybody here. You open your eyes to find yourself standing amidst a camp of pilgrims going about their rituals. You try to recall how they got here, but your memories are a blur. You should seek out your fellow guildmates, Aska and Lucite, to learn more about what transpired. So now we've got access to our journal. The old woman stands crooked, sustaining her posture with an ebonaric scepter. At first glance, she appears fragile and infirm, but as you make your approach, begins to disclose the expression of a resolute young adventurer. The elder's gilt robes, exceptional amongst the haggard, umber rags that convey about the campsite, denote a position of prestige and authority within the sect. This does not come as a surprise. In opposition to her gaunt physical presence, she possesses a spirit emanating the zeal of the founders themselves. She speaks to greet with you with a rough but firm voice. Greetings, hero. We are honored to have your company as we embark on our voyage. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what she would sound like. Can you heal me? I actually don't need any, but let's see what happens. These weary bones don't muster magic as well as these days, but a simple recovery spell should still be within my ability. Should your party require healing at any time, please feel free to approach me. After all, our own journey to the Andra is contingent on the success of your search for the shards. Okay, so this is going to be like our central hub, I suppose. This is Aska down here, I believe. Sits forward on the bench, her face pallid, her knuckles turned white from gripping too tight. How are you faring, Aska? Hey, Lord Kelsier, not too good right now. Why don't you look for Lucite in the meantime? Okay, he's right here. Good to see you up and about, Lord Kelsier. I thought you were a goner for sure. What happened to the ship? The storm took a turn for the worse while you were asleep, then a maelstrom manifested seemingly out of nowhere, swallowing our ship whole. We survived thanks to Aska's barrier, which I managed to transport using a spell of wind. Now, again, I don't know if our nightmare was influenced by the ship, or if the ship was influenced by the nightmare. Or maybe neither. I don't know. Do you know where we are? We're most certainly on Respite Island, the only known island near our last location. These pilgrims were kind enough to provide us with food and shelter, but we shouldn't stay put for too long. Our first step should be to enter Gladeheim, the island's port town. There we should be able to find a new ship to replace the one we've lost. Let's see how Aska's doing and leave as soon as we can. So he's with us now. We can see that we've joined up. And you can link and unlink, just like in Divinity Original Sin. You can just like drag these to link your party members together so that when you click with one, they all go. Let's talk to Aska now. Hey there, Lord Kelsier. Are you feeling any better yet? Yep, just needed a moment to shake it off, or shake it out if you catch my drift. Aska leaps into your party, and we got the Wild Heart talent. While she's in the party, you can speak with and understand the animals of the world. Many often have valuable information, items, or even quests to share. All right, let's search the nearby jungle for a way into town. That's the goal. Of course, we could talk to all of these people, but I'll let you guys do that on your own. We're going to hit the travel here, and we're peacing out. Okay, now we do have some inventory items in here. So we have a gift from Dad, a family heirloom. I'm going to throw that on, so this is a little bit of extra magic barrier there. He's got the energy sphere, which adds some magic barrier, +2 to Aeromancer, some air resistance. So we'll throw that in, maybe instead of the shield. Nah, we'll keep the shield. And then here we've got the Gale Wand versus the Longsword. So it's air damage versus physical damage. He gets +1 initiative and +1 wizardry versus +1 initiative over there. I think let's try that. We've got some armor potions. We got some health potions. That's something we can keep in mind. And then lastly, for her, we can do the Earthen Staff, which is a melee thing, or we could go to the Great Bow, and we'll throw in the Leather Quiver as well, just to change things up. She also has a Scroll of Resurrection and some apples to heal if necessary. Okay, so let's explore a little bit, shall we? The movement, the way the characters move, like staying aligned to the grids, like you can see if you just click up here, they all kind of patrol on the grid. That's like such an old school way of doing it. It's kind of cool though. I like that. Okay, we can talk to this lemur because she's with us. Greetings, human. Who are you? I am Mimo, and as you can see, I'm very high up. Greetings, human. What are you doing all the way up there? Looking for a thing of great importance to my family that has been taken away. Climbing up high on this dead rock person will help me see further. Dead rock person. You mean Golem? No, that's a silly name and doesn't mean anything. Humans are so unclever, I bet they'll never get past my intelligence quiz. I could probably solve that quiz. Ooh, a confident human. No surprises there. You can take the quiz, but don't blame me if your feelings get hurt. Just let me know when you're ready. I'm ready. Okay. A brave human. Unclever, but brave. What has one eye but cannot see? I'll give you a second. Everybody who's ever heard a riddle knows this. It's a needle. Impressive for a human, that is. Question 2, what's yours but is used more often by other people? Now, I was thinking time. Okay, so think about what your answer might be here, but let's see what the options are. Name, advice, or taxi. It would be a name in this case, obviously. Final question. What can make any wish come true? Dreams, hard work and determination, genie trapped in a lamp, or 7 Dragon Balls. I mean, it's obviously 7 Dragon Balls. Oh, how crass. Shouldn't make jokes about the dead and their body parts. You barely made it, but you passed. Congratulations, human. I got a keystone of water. Be proud of knowing that you're the first human I've given any to. Bye-bye now, not so silly human. Okay, so what is that exactly that we got? Keystone of Water emits an aura of hydromancy and can be used to activate a certain device on Respite Island. Okay, so we can't progress back here. Let's keep going. Thank you, Lemur. That was cool. And we should be able to get into some combat here. See ya. If you hold Alt, there are certain things that will pop up showing that you may or may not be able to interact with them. So you can probably find some honey in it if you're brave enough. I'm brave. Blightwing's Stinger. Do not consume. An extremely venomous sting from a Blightwing, using the right methods of preparation, can be furnished into an excellent poison dart or processed into a crispy, delectable snack. I have the feeling that there's going to be just a ton of items and stuff to find in here, and then how you kind of piece them together or use them, kind of up to your own whims. Okay, we searched. We found a pickaxe capable of extracting only ores of basic quality. We have a ruby, can be sold to a merchant for a nice bag of silver or used in crafting, and a letter to Fienna. Okay, letter to Fienna. I know I promised you I would stay behind, but too many of our brothers have lost their lives in the defense of the Northern Cape. I cannot sit idly by, knowing that my magic could save tens, even hundreds of them. These human invaders have proven far more relentless than our scholars ever gave them credit for, making up for a lack of ability and sheer numbers and persistence that rivals a river attempting to cut through a rock. And now it's us who will pay the price for their hubris. I've left our child in the care of the witch. Though you may detest her for her race or craft, I would trust her over any of our own brethren on this detachment. Should I fail to return, seek her out and bring our child home. Zandes. I'm sure that comes up at some point. Oh, look, we've got a little log here hitting tilde. This is almost like a console, and it looks you can even add some stuff in there. Oh, that's neat. So we've got like an actions list there too. A hole in the ground, long way down, best to stay clear. Okay, what about this? Arm belonged to someone who could have probably used a hand against the creature. Yeah, that's fair. Get it? It's a hand because it's an arm, you know? Let's go this way. Yeah, okay, now we're throwing down. Let's get right to it. So we've got a couple of different options here. Thunderbolt. Let's come in closer. And we'll strike. Let's give her. And then I can Bulwark to restore armor. That's really the only thing I can do. Launch wind missiles, but I need to have them within this certain thing. So some of the move sets are going to be an AoE. Some of them are on these tiles directly out into the sides of you. We'll see that with some of her skills as well. So I think for now, I'm just going to hold still here and go to the next turn. That little prompt will come up if you still have actions left to signify, yeah, you're willing to give up those actions. So we've got a forceful shot, not a lot of range on that bad boy. We have the knock and release, quite a bit more range. So I'm thinking if we can maybe come over here and then, can I don't actually know if I can shoot through these things. I can. Okay, sick. Okay, so that's her thing. She can knock and release, or she has the Aska's Blessing, 2-turn cooldown, but does restore some magic barrier, some armor, and does a small amount of healing. We've got some traps if we wanted to place those out here, and then we've got the forceful shot to knock enemies away. I think in this scenario, I'm just going to blast the baby Rek'Sai. We're going through some armor there. Now he's got no armor, so that'll be helpful if we choose to stun or something. Couple of, what, dragon bees? Okay. They have armor and stuff as well, unfortunately. I don't have any range stuff on our character, so there's not a whole lot I can do here. Let's just go defensive stance. So we have, we can deflect melee attacks. We'll see how that works, and we'll just end our turn there. Now, there is like a weather thing up here. So if you notice that, no effects are applied to the battlefield. Big fan of that. And you can tell, like, they're taking some inspiration from games like Divinity and these systemic games where it's like you've got the acid stuff on the ground. Now there's a weather thing. That's actually very cool. Not a lot of games do weather stuff. Not a lot of turn-based tactics games, I should say. But that's neat. I like that a lot. So conjure a static cloud to shock an enemy. Yep. Let's do this. Now I can also examine these, and I can kind of keep this pinned here on whichever enemy I'm examining, and then I can see what is shocked doing. They're resistant to impaired sight. They have resistances to certain elemental types, fire, water, wind, and earth, I believe. And then acid, poison, and maybe this is some type of like holy damage, if I had to guess. Let's, what do we want to do here? Not enough AP. I could just air blast. Let's do that. And we'll blast again. And we'll blast. That's it. That's all I'm blasting. I will back up a bit. And then she can get in range. Couple things we could do. We've got these serrated vines to damage and poison 2 enemies. So maybe we'll move in here. And we'll throw down some vines on these guys. It's just a little bit of poison damage. Okay, the poison was resisted by the magic barrier, so I could have thought about that beforehand, but here we are, not doing that. And then I'm in here tanking. Let's go. Okay. I wanted to tank more than that, but that's fine. It looks like we can just take care of this guy. That'll work for me. If we get through this guy's armor, then we could stun. Now, of course, we do have the piercing slash, which can just ignore armor. But if I want to get rid of that to set up the disorienting strike, that seems pretty valuable to me. I think when I went through this to do my test, I'm pretty sure there was like battle music here. And it was good too. So I'm going to see if I can find that, and I'll try to edit some of that in maybe, but let's see. What do I want to do here now? These guys, what do they have going on? Let's throw up a little examine here. No, not on you, on one of you. So 10 magic barrier, 5 armor, resistant to poison, weak to fire, strong to earth. Okay. I can't do this because I'm not using a melee weapon. I'm using that like bulwark thing, which doesn't count as like a sword or what have you. I think let's just move up here. We'll try to work through that barrier. Okay. And then for you, do we need any healing or anything? I mean, sort of, but it's not that bad either. If we come here and we try the forceful shot, we can knock them back, which is cool. And then I can start blasting. So let's do that. Okay. I do like this system where you've got armor and a magical barrier in terms of defense, because it gives you different approaches, right? In a tactics game, that's always a cool thing where you can, if you kit out your guy to be like just this wicked magic user, then you probably don't have to worry about physical armor at all, or you might have some cooler ways of stripping that, because there's so many classes and abilities here that like we can't touch on them all, obviously, but I bet you people are going to be able to come up with like really cool builds and stuff. Okay, so we'll just stun him. See you later. See you in a couple sleeps, buddy. Let's Thunderbolt again. Okay, so shocked. And shocked, if we're curious, again, is minus 30% water resistance. I really don't have any like water follow-up stuff, unfortunately. Would be sick, though. Just don't have it. Okay. Let's move over and see if we can't finish off this one. We're going to be close. That'll do. Okay, one more to go. Well, okay. 2 more. But one is stunned. Let's just start beating into this guy. And we can examine this. So I only need 2 more HP there. See you later. Bye-bye. And last but not least, magic gone. Destructive strike is cool, but you need all 3 of your combat AP for this. So you would set disarmed for a turn, but it is resisted by armor, which these guys have. So we'd have to kind of work through that, but doable. Okay, and then lastly here, one thing I would like is for characters that are ranged, if you're hovering a tile, it'd be cool to see like what they'd be hitting from that tile. Because if an enemy is like up here, for example, and you're trying to figure out, well, do I need to be at this tile or this tile? Then you could just see this. Or maybe that's in here and I haven't seen a tutorial for it yet. But that would just be a nice little addition to make sure that you can plan your moves very accurately. Okay, so armor's gone. Okay, solid. Now, I should probably use her heal spell sooner rather than later. I don't know if you can do it outside of combat or not. But that's a quick look at a little combat scenario there. It gives us some nice stats breakdown at the end. I'm 90% sure that I had music before, so I am gonna try to edit that in there for you guys because that adds to the vibe pretty significantly. Let's search these bodies, of course. Fur girdle, intelligence, armor, and magic barrier. Ashwood branch, and Rexite meat for healing. And then apples, Rexite meat there. All good. Okay. Now we can also search any of these other things. So the wagons and stuff. We'll take water. We've got the boxes here. We've got small health potions and wool. A letter here. We'll read that. What's the letter? Mark still owes me 10 silver from forever and a day ago, but the poor sod swears he doesn't have a single coin on him. Maybe I should just write him off. Guess who this is? This is a bloodied corpse that has the nickname Mark on his nameplate. And he does have 10 silver, so Mark's a liar. Mark is a liar. Thread, small armor potions here. Okay. And so now we carry on. We could do some potion drinking here, or some apple eating, just to heal up. Everybody else is fine now. But let's continue down and see what else we might find. We'll search this again. Poison essence. Do not inhale. That's probably a crafting thing. What do we have here? An eerie presence nearby. A sense of uneasiness washes over you. You sense a presence nearby, but its origin eludes you. Both of you, be on your guard. Whoever did this might still be around. Stay back. It might be a trap. Okay, let me check on the body. The 2 of you should stand watch. Lucite rolls the body around and checks for signs of life. He's dead. Whoever killed him did so by tearing his heart straight out of his rib cage. Is there a lot of blood? I've covered it up. You can turn around now. But we got a pilgrim's coral ring out of this. You take one of the pilgrim's belongings with you to inform the others of his demise. Oh, I was just thinking I might just wear it. Yeah, Constitution. That's pretty cool. Let's send this to Lucite. Not wearing a ring. We can throw that on. And I'm sure that will come up at some point. Let's pick that. Is there anything else on this corpse? Yes. Pirate's treasure map. North and east from the island's heart and center. 5 paces forward from where the middle finger gestures. Then 5 paces left lies buried my greatest treasure. You can already see, okay, so we're just like getting going in here. And I feel like this demo is this is probably the opening of the game. Like, I don't see this as being a slice of content that's later in the game. So the fact that we've already opened and we've got all these little hints and things to follow if we want. But also we only have our main objective here, right, which is to find a way into the port town. But if we want to follow these threads, we totally can. And so you're gonna all of a sudden be in situations where you're like, okay, yeah, but what about this? And you're just building all these different things that you want to do. So far, at least early, this is very promising. I do wish, of course, it'd be sick if they had voice acting. That would be awesome. But But like, I'm looking at the price tag of the game and I'm like, it's 20 bucks. So pretty solid so far. What do we have here? An altar of elven construct. Talisman from beyond. Grants medium. An ominous trinket that allows you to communicate with the recently departed. Hey, hold up a second. Let's throw that on. And let's see if that can let me talk to these guys. Hook me up. Surge of energy comes through you, connecting you to the realm of the spirits. What previously was a faint apparition is now clear to you. A man's ghost with sorrow etched into his eyes and an expression of longing and melancholy. Oh, cool. Who are you? I can't say I remember. My memories elude me, like fragments scattered to the winds. I recall names, blurred faces, but they hold neither meaning nor connection to one another. Based on your attire, I'd say you're one of the pilgrims. Ogier's emissaries. Pilgrims. There's a glimmer, a little something there. I remember walking amongst others in search of solace, salvation, or something else. Spirit closes its eyes as if to delve deep into his own faded memories. Everything has returned to me, my comrades and our journey, a journey that was cut short by a band of ruthless pirates. Yeah, unfortunately so. Death comes for all of us. Do you remember your name? Yeah, my name is Hans, but it matters not anymore now that my life's thread has been severed. Except, oh, cool. Can I help you with anything? Yep, if you'll allow a dead man to implore you for a favor, I wish to be reunited with my beloved wife once again. Does your wife travel alongside the pilgrims as well? She did when she was alive, anyway. Since the accident which resulted in her untimely demise a year ago, I've been mourning. Okay, so she's dead as well. If I were to move on and join her in the afterlife, I must first rid myself of any lingering regrets. My greatest regret, one that I'm sure is keeping me tethered to this realm, is a great debt that remains unpaid. Though not wealthy by any means, Brother Guyan readily lent me a sum of silver years ago for my wedding, which I'm ashamed to admit I've hardly tried to repay. Interesting. Let me speak with Gain about the debt. It would be a great help if you could, adventurer. You should find Gain near the entrance of our camp. You won't miss him. His skin bears the warm embrace of the sun, and his shaved head gleams as brightly as his wisdom. Oh, cool. So in my testing, I didn't go past here. I was just I just stopped and was like, yeah, we're diving in here. This is gonna be cool. So that's neat. A little bit of an added skill that we now have to talk to dead. We can talk to animals. And I don't know how many party members are available, but I'm sure they all are going to have some of their unique stuff. I think this is actually a good place to stop because I think what I'd like for you to do is try this game yourself. Again, this is a free demo that you can play right now. You'll start out exactly like I did, but create a different character and see if anything changes, pick a different backstory, all that kind of stuff, and get a vibe for what the differences are in the world. Thanks again to Ocelot for sponsoring this look. I love being able to check out these different games. For Steam Next Fest, there's a ton of games coming up, so you can imagine that I'll be checking out a few different things on the channel. If there's anything that you guys are interested in that you see on Steam Next Fest that you think I should try, let me know, because I'd be totally down to give more games a shot like this. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope you have a good time, and we'll